Welcome back to the show, guys. Today's episode is going to focus on my first month living in the heart of Bangkok. And we're also going to go over my expenses for the entire month just to see how much it cost me to live as a single guy in Bangkok in 2025. So if that sounds good to you, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. What's going on, everybody? My name is Havu, and this is 1 year in Bangkok. Today's episode is going to actually focus on 1 month in Bangkok. Officially been in my condo for 1 month. I've been in Thailand in total between this year and last year about 4 or 5 months. But this is my first month having my own place here, sign the lease and all that jazz that we talked about in the first episode. Today, I want to kick it off by just going over my expenses for the first month. I know that's kind of something that people are interested in, especially if they're planning to move out here. You may have heard that Southeast Asia is pretty affordable. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty convenient. And I can attest to all those things. Where I live in the heart of the city in the Sukhumvit area, it's very touristy and certain things are more pricey. Just here in general, for example, like a massage, you could probably get cheaper the further you go away from the city. The going rate for an hour massage here is about 300 baht. And just for example, where I was living before, kind of further away by the Grand Palace, that kind of area, it was 250 baht. So just a little cheaper out there. There's still street food here. There's still locals here. A lot of people commute into the city to work, obviously, but there are plenty of little markets tucked in little side streets and little alleys. And if you're willing to walk a little bit, you can definitely find local prices, fruits, vegetables, home cooked kind of Thai food on the side of the road for well under 100 baht. You're talking about a couple dollars. Kind of like that street food culture that Southeast Asia is known for. That's definitely not lacking around the Sukhumvit area. But what we do have are a lot of tourists. We have a lot of motorbikes. We have a lot of pollution. We have a lot of lights and sounds and, everything that you expect to find in a big city. Western food. I mean, all types of food. Like really, you can get any type of cuisine here. You can get 5-star hotels. I mean, you name it. Just really, you are not wanting for anything living in this area. So I do want to just have that be said. For long term, I don't know if I would stay in this area, but for now, I have no complaints. I've heard other people who have been in Thailand longer than me, and I respect their opinion, and I can totally see how that would be valid even for me. But just getting, making that transition between like California, United States to Southeast Asia, I think this is a really great place to be. Especially for me, I don't really love like Asian food like that much. I know I've mentioned that before. So it's really nice for me to be able to have like pizza and pasta and burgers when I want to. You know what I mean? So that's nice. I like that here. But who knows how things could change. I do want to mention that rent for me, I guess it's pricey for like the class of this condo. I wouldn't say this is luxury, but it's kind of like teetering that line. It's semi-luxury, I think, as far as things go out here. And it's definitely more luxurious than the locals, the typical local, will be able to afford out here. And for the price that you get, it's definitely like leaps and bounds better than anything you could get in any city in America, like hands down. But the price is high mainly because of the location here. It's very convenient. I'm not paying a lot for transportation to and around the city. Everything is very central, A lot of people want to be around here for shopping and eating and just, it's great. So let's kick it off with my expenses for the month. Like I said, rent is 21K Thai baht, which is about $620 at the time of this recording, 622 to be exact. I'll be rounding, a couple dollars here and there with these numbers just to let you guys know. So yeah, about $620. And I don't know if you guys have seen the video. Head over to my YouTube channel, 1 Year in Bangkok, if you actually want to see the condo. But what I didn't really do a good job of showing is like the staff, the amazing staff that this condo has. And typically all condos in this area of the city. I'm not sure if it's like this everywhere else in Thailand, but there's like a full dedicated staff. I mean, there's like probably 20 to 30 ladies and gentlemen. The gentlemen are typically the security guards. There's like two maintenance guys. Um, the security guys up front, they have their little booth. They pretty much control the gate and let in cars. They answer questions for the motorbike drivers and the deliveries. They handle everything out front. They walk the grounds and they do their little status reports every day. They say hi to me every morning and I say hi to them. And they have to like salute you and get up when you pass by them, which is crazy. But it's just like that extra level of service that's not uncommon out here in the pricier kind of condo range. Pricely relatively. Um, so there's those guys. The ladies, they clean everything. I mean, they're always cleaning. There's a lady that comes up to each floor and she does the cleaning. She doesn't mop every day. Mopping is kind of like a deep clean that they do, like every couple weeks, but she does like her little Swiffer, her little duster, and they do that every day. Then there is always a project that they do. There's always like a deep cleaning task, whether it's like the elevators, they daily clean the gym, like they wipe down the treadmills, they take the leaves out of the pool. I mean, everything. There's a lady that has like in the office, they take pictures of all the packages and let you know exactly when they're there. There's like a group chat. Um, so, they'll put packages in my locker and be like, hey, if the packages fit and there's locker space, they'll put your packages in there and they'll be like, hey, you got a couple packages in locker number 9, just like an automated touchscreen system to go pick that up. There's free pest control. Each month you get the option of wanting to do that and they'll come and they'll spray just to make sure there's no uninvited guests in your condo building. Um, my toilet seat was all rattly when I moved in, and I just called the guy. I just called the office, and they were like, "Yeah, he'll be up in 20 minutes." And he came up and he fixed it. So they'll do a lot of that stuff for you, just in house, free of charge. They'll like make appointments for you if you want your air conditioner cleaned or whatever, like services like that. Um, it's just super nice. It's like face control, like a face scanner to get into the elevator building, key card access, and there's like a couple of like there's like a laundry facility. There is a couple of these outdoor spaces that they maintain as well. I mean, there's always something. And the ladies, they decorate for the holidays. They put this little tree out. They did something for Lunar New Year. They did something for Christmas. And now, right now, there's like Valentine's Day decorations up. They're like dusting and wiping and mopping. And it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's like living in a castle, honestly. It's what it feels like. The room is not that big. It's not like the most luxurious thing that you could ever think of. The kitchen is small, but honestly, I have no complaints. It's just really good living here. Um, so I'm happy. It's very easy to be grateful. It's like super easy to be grateful, and I realize how lucky I am to be living kind of like this lifestyle. Um, that's just so affordable in every sense. So thank you guys for that. Moving on, I have a category called house. I use this little like free app on my phone to track my expenses. I don't know if I'm going to keep this up forever, but I definitely wanted to do it for the first month just to see the first couple months, because the first month I think the expenses are definitely heavier moving into the apartment. It was fully furnished. I have my TV, Samsung 65-inch 4K, which is great. I love it. But just living here for a year, there's just certain things that I need, like all the bedding, all the bathroom stuff, and just personal stuff that everyone needs, to live their own life, kitchen stuff. So in total, I spent $230 on house stuff. So just for example, that like a bath mat, towels, anything from IKEA. I had to buy all my bedding, so like sheets, pillowcases, a little blanket. Thankfully, you don't need a thick blanket ever here in Thailand. Just a bare minimum that gets the job done, or at least for me, at least. Other house stuff like cleaning supplies, like microfiber towels. I bought one pot and one pan. I don't expect to be doing a lot of cooking. I don't even have a cutting board yet. I don't have a knife. I have one Tupperware. I have one plate. I have one bowl. Actually, I have two bowls because I wasn't happy with the first one I bought online. I have like a little tray that I use when I want to eat sitting on my bed or on the floor, and like measuring spoons. I bought an air fryer, which was kind of like a bigger ticket item as far as the things that I bought. It's a nice Philips air fryer. It's beautiful. It's one of the best air fryers I've ever owned. And air fryers aren't a huge thing out here, but you can find them. And they're a little more expensive. But to be fair, a lot of the air fryers that I've had back home in America, they're like Ninja brand or like Costco brand, straight from China. This is a Philips air fryer, so it's kind of brand name. It's a little sleeker. But I think it was like $70, which is crazy because I've never paid more than like 40 or $50 for an air fryer back home. But there's that. I bought a vacuum cleaner from Lazada, which is kind of like AliExpress kind of thing. I wouldn't really compare it to Amazon because the quality of the products is not that great um, in a lot of situations, but it's just like Chinese stuff. So I bought a really cheap handheld vacuum cleaner. I bought a cord vacuum cleaner, which was very great from Home Pro. So yeah, it's about $230, maybe even close to 300. I feel like I'm forgetting some stuff in the house category, but that's pretty much stuff that I bought for the house. A lot of cleaning supplies. I bought like a little Swiffer equivalent just to dust and mop the floors. So yeah, that's I don't expect to have that category going forward because I pretty much have everything that I need. Maybe just odds and ends, but certainly not like $300 a month going forward. That's pretty much a one-time deal just moving into the condo. Food is such a big one. I want to spend a little time talking about food. I've spent $425 on food, and that's pretty much eating out every single day. I typically have 2 meals a day, sometimes three. Sometimes I splurge and like go sit down somewhere, but typically it's just me. I do not go to like steakhouses or anything fancy like that. I haven't been to any fancy buffets. Sit down for me would probably be like, I don't know. I went to like Gordon Ramsay's like pizza place the other day. That was like $20, which is crazy because it would not be that in California. You cannot sit down for $20. Maybe if you go to like Applebee's or something and you leave like a $2 tip, maybe you can get away with $20. But even then, it's probably like not that realistic that anymore. Um, I went to like a Korean barbecue every now and then. I'll go like lunch at a Korean barbecue place where you can get a good deal. It's like a set menu or something like that, and just like eat until I can barely walk. There's a lot of great options here where like if you're willing to pay a little more for sit down, you can just get like world class food. So it was like a new Korean barbecue in Ekamai. They only had pork, so I just like gorged on pork belly. They had all the sides and they had like chicken wings, they had like ramen, ice cream. I mean, it was just like I said, world class. So every now and then I'll splurge and do that, but typically I'm getting like Grab delivered to me, and maybe spending like anywhere from 10 to 20. 20 be like a high day, $20 on food and not cooking pretty much at all. I do eggs in the morning sometimes, and sometimes I go to the market and buy things like nuts and fresh fruit and prepared foods. But I typically don't have like, there's no food in my refrigerator right now. I think there's a bag of frozen French fries in my freezer and some ice cream, just kind of emergencies. There's eggs on my counter. There's like a bag of pistachios right now. Um, I found some apple cider vinegar at the market, which is imported from America. So it's a little pricier than it would be back home by a couple bucks, probably like $5 more expensive to get it out here. Um, but other than that, yeah, 425 for a month of food. I don't think that's bad considering that most of the food on a daily basis gets delivered to my lobby and all I have to do is ride the elevator down and get it. And like I said, it's like there's barely any delivery fee. It's like not even worth talking about. It's that cheap. Whereas DoorDash, it's pretty hefty. And then with tip, I mean, you're paying probably like 25% more for the meal, at any given place if you're door dashing it back home, 20 to 25%. I think that's a reasonable estimate. So yeah, I'm eating good, like anything I want. The hardest part every day is deciding what I want to eat because I can just have anything, I can have it delivered and it's affordable. And I start to get into like, even though everything is more affordable out here, it's funny, like you stay in Thailand for a little bit and then all of a sudden $10 seems like this like insane amount. Like I can't spend $10. I'll find myself like adding stuff to my food cart to be delivered and it ends up like being like $9, $10. I'm like, no, I can't do this. It's too expensive. You know what I mean? Whereas back home, $10 gets you like Del Taco. $10 gets you like maybe 80% of what you want at McDonald's. If that, Chick-fil-A is probably like a $20 trip for me these days. So it's pretty crazy how you adjust. And you kind of like start seeing things by the local standard, which I think is good, especially when you walk by and you see people are having meals on the street for like 25 baht in some cases, 50 baht. go sit down at a Thai restaurant with your friends and enjoy like fresh home cooked Thai food. And, after all said and done, everyone owes 120 baht, like $3 or $4, you know? Everyone had a drink. Everyone had like papaya salad or rice or like pork and vegetables. It's just like whatever. It's very affordable when you live like the locals live, and it kind of puts things in perspective for you. So even though there are all these fancy malls that are close by to me where you can just pay, there's like a Starbucks Reserve, and there's just like fancy restaurants, top chefs, everything like that. Like you can even those things are relatively affordable. So you get both ends of the spectrum here. And then just the added convenience of everything. It's just crazy. My next category was miscellaneous, and I had to like look up to remember what this was. It was 6,000 Thai baht, which is like 175 US dollars. Um, and I wanted to open a bank account here. So I went to my first choice, which was Casacorn Bank. It's a very nice, clean bank. A lot of local people have this bank, and I really wanted to open up an account here, but they denied me because of my visa. They were like, on the DTV visa, we just it's new and we don't support it yet. I'm so sorry. So I got up and I left. I was kind of embarrassed. I was kind of sad. So I had heard that Bangkok Bank is the place to go for tourists. I read on Reddit, I think, and I went to Bangkok Bank, and it was like a relic of the 1990s. They were using like super old computers, and I'm like, I always judge a place based on the hardware that they're using, like the people that are working there, like old keyboards, like old little desktop computers and stuff like that, old monitors, and I'm like, okay, like they're not maybe modern, they're not spending on their IT budget, and it's kind of a reflection on the company itself and the building itself. It was just like not a great place to be. I even saw some lady like bring in gifts for the bank worker, which was crazy. She brought her some like cake or something like that, right? And it was funny because at the first bank I went to, it was nice and clean and very modern and very professional, and like it like seemed like the building was nice. It just seemed like a better place to have your money. You know what I mean? And there was a big sign on the thing that said no gifts. Like you're not allowed to bring the bank employees gifts, which makes sense. You know what I mean? Like this is like in this situation, like you don't want people bribing the employees, like, right? There are just certain situations where that's probably not cool. It's cool for the employees, I guess. But anyways, I thought that was funny because at the second bank I went to, Bangkok Bank, someone was definitely like kind of, I don't know if it was a bribe or anything, but either way, it was just kind of, I wonder what's going on there. But anyways, she did open an account for me, but she was like, hey, since you're a tourist, we make you get this insurance. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? And, because 6,000 baht is a lot of money. For sure, for me, 175 bucks is a lot of money, but for like Thai people, that's a crazy amount of money. Her voice was like shaking when she was trying to sell me this insurance. She was like very nervous about it. I think because she knew it was a lot of money, and I think she was unsure of how I would react. And I think because I was wondering, like, what if I just say no to this? Like, is she really going to keep selling me this? Is she going to straight up tell me that she can't open an account for me? Because, guys, mind you, this has nothing to do with opening a bank account. It's like some like safety insurance for like tourists. She was like, yeah, what if you get hurt playing sports? You get hurt on a motorbike, we'll cover it up to 100,000, whatever. Like she was telling me, and I was like, what does this have to do with a bank? Like, why are you even like able to sell this? Like, what is this? Um, but she was like super nervous. She was like visibly and audibly nervous about it. But I decided not to fight her on it. I was just like, I'm not gonna push my luck. I'm like thankful to be here. I'm thankful for everyone helping me out here, and I really do want this bank account. It would make my life a lot easier and save me money. I don't know if I will save $175, which is what it would cost. No, but typically, honestly, maybe, in the long run, yes. So I'm thinking like I'll just get this and cancel it because I assume they're gonna take that money out next year, like another, but I'm definitely not gonna let that happen. So whatever. I just chalk it up to a one-time fee for a tourist opening up this bank account. So $175 there, just a one-time fee because I am certainly gonna cancel this. But to have a Thai bank account means a couple different things for me. It means I don't have to pay to access my own money. I can wire transfer my money from my Bank of America account in the US to my Thai bank account for free. Typically, the Bank of America wire transfers are free. It takes a while. If I want to use a service like Wise, I can pay a little bit and just get my money instantly. And then I don't have to pay ATM fees, because I was noticing that every time I was pulling cash from the Bank of America ATM, they were charging me 3%, 3% on top of an ATM fee. So it's just like, that's unacceptable. You know what I mean? So cash is something that's always nice to have out here. But if you have a Thai bank account, what they do here is like scan to pay. Everybody uses it, even like shops. Like even the old lady on the side of the street selling mangoes has QR now. And it's very convenient. It's like Venmo out here, but it's even more convenient than that, because it's just straight bank account to bank account. It's not about credit cards or anything like that. You just scan a QR code and your money goes into their bank account, like straight up, right there and then and there. You show them the little screenshot of it. Some businesses take a picture of it. Sometimes, like on the street, you just show them the thing. They see that you transfer 100 baht from your account to their account, and boom, bada bing, bada boom. It's pretty easy. So I get to pay my bills a lot easier. If I didn't have a Thai bank account, I'd probably have to go to like 7-Eleven or a grocery store to pay some of my utility bills. So I'm just super stoked to have that. I'm still, to this day, it's been like a month, I'm still very excited that I have this Thai bank account. Like paying people back when we go out to eat, just much more convenient. I don't have to worry about giving them cash. So that was very nice. Relaxation I have as a category. I spent $75 this month, and that's basically massages, which is crazy to think about, because $75, I don't know how many times I went for a massage. I probably went for like four or five times, like Thai massage, 1 hour, just because I have tight shoulders. I'm playing sports a lot. It's nice because in California, it's pretty much $100 for like an hour or 90-minute massage. And then they expect like a $20 tip or something like that. So, I mean, you're looking at $120 really, like easily. And this is just like some Chinese shop, sketchy Chinese shop on the side of the road or something like that, in California. So not necessarily like a salon or anything, but that's just like the going rate, about $100, to get a massage here. And I've gotten like at least five massages for $75. I don't remember the exact number, but it's like 300 baht. You figure that's $10. So maybe like 6 or 7 massages. Transportation, I spent $70. So that is Grab motorbike. Sometimes I don't feel like walking to the park where I play pickleball. It's a 30-minute walk each way. And most of the time I do walk it, but every now and then it's nice to have that option of paying like $1 or $2 to just zip right back to my condo. The BTS and the MRT, the subway and the SkyTrain, for whatever reason, if I'm meeting friends, they're not always in my area. So I think $70 is pretty reasonable for a month of transportation. It's not like I'm going many places, guys. I haven't been exploring. I don't really live like a tourist right now. I don't have that much disposable income to like go see this and go see that and go do this. I'm like living pretty simply. I'm very happy. I'm happy as a clam, but I am like not exploring Bangkok to the extent that maybe a typical tourist would. I don't really have that much of a desire to, but there are definitely certain things, certain attractions and temples like that I haven't been to, and I'm just not in a hurry. I'll get there eventually on my own time. So I don't know, transportation might go up, but when I think about transportation in America, having a car, you think about insurance is like maybe like $100 a month, in a good scenario. Probably for me, I was paying about $100 a month to insure my Honda Element, and $60 a week on gas. So, I mean, that's probably like $70 would probably be at least a week of travel expenses for me in America. Probably be closer to 80, 85 when you're talking about maintenance and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. So save a lot of money there. Just $70 a month to get around the city. Motorbike is my favorite way to travel here. A lot of people are scared to use the motorbikes, and I guess your risk goes up. If anything happens, of course, you'd probably rather be in a car with airbags, but I'm not afraid. I love being on the two wheels. I love riding the motorbike. It's the most efficient way to get around the city, hands down. But it's hot. There's no AC. Certain drivers are better than others, and it's sometimes can be a little scary. I get how it can be kind of scary for people who've never ridden a motorcycle before, or like they're just nervous about it. A lot of the like tourists or foreigners, they bring their own helmet when they ride, because you don't always get provided a helmet on the motorbikes. I think that's pretty funny. But for me, it's the number one way to get around the city, and I love it. It's so fun. Even when you get a driver that's like super like crazy or like doesn't really know how to brake that well, it's still always an experience because you never know what kind of motorbike you're going to get on. You never know what kind of driver it's going to be. And some drivers are really, really good at cutting through traffic, and it's just like an exhilarating ride. It's very efficient, and they're good on the throttle, they're good on the brakes, and they're just like you can tell that they are just like good riders. It's not often that you get a really good rider that's like safe, but also very quick and also not afraid to weave in and out of traffic because you have to weave in these tiny spaces between cars quite often. And there's motorbikes everywhere. It's not uncommon to run red lights or to make these illegal U-turns or to go on the sidewalk. It's like crazy out here. It's like the wild, wild west. I can't even, it's something you have to experience for yourself because you probably wouldn't believe it as I'm telling you it right now, but it's really fun. So it's like an attraction in and of itself riding on the motorbikes out here. So yeah, $70 on transportation, guys, in my first month. For sport, I paid $25 a month, and that's pretty much pickleball club fees, which are pretty affordable. Sometimes we'll share a court, or sometimes it's like an open play fee that you have to pay. So typically I try to play for free as much as I can, but $25, I think that's very reasonable. Clothes, I spent $20 apparently. I don't even remember what I bought. Like literally can't remember. I think I bought like a little backpack so that when I go to the markets, I have something to carry my stuff in if I walk or take the motorbike. But I have no idea. Just I don't really buy clothes. I'm a minimalist these days for a couple years now. I've just transitioned towards minimalism, especially as it pertains to like my condo and my lifestyle. I just don't have a lot of things. Pretty much just essentials. My clothes are all based around like things that I can wear for hiking, things I can wear for pickleball. I don't have like dress clothes or jeans just because I don't do any of that stuff. If I were invited to like a formal affair or a wedding or something like that, I just wouldn't, I probably wouldn't even go, to be honest. And I don't have, that watches or anything. It's just not my style. And if you could see my apartment now, there's not that much stuff in it. Everything is it's very minimalist. It's very essential, and it's things that I use every day. And I just don't have things laying around that I don't use or that I don't often use. Everything's pretty much essential. So internet is $20 a month. It's 500 up, 500 down. Not like super, super, mind-boggling fast, but it's very fast. For what I need to get done. Uploading the occasional 4K video, I mean, it's more than enough, especially when you consider the fact that I have a laptop, I have a phone, and I have a TV, and those are the only things that are using internet. And they're typically not doing high bandwidth, stuff at the same time. So super nice. And what's really nice is I had a promotion. You sign up for 1 year, so it's gonna be $20 a month, but they also cover a SIM card, which I got converted to an eSIM for my iPhone. And I have like 20 gigs of data, high speed data every month. And so I don't really need the calling feature. If I need to call people, I'll do it on FaceTime on Wi-Fi or something like that, or figure out like an app. So I'm just using my bandwidth, my like whatever fiber package to make calls, voice calls, so to speak, and then everything else is data. And then when I'm out around the city and I'm using pretty much Google Maps, is what I use around the city. I'm not like the kind to like be outside and like watch YouTube videos or something like that on the subway. I don't do stuff like that. So it's pretty much solely on Google Maps, looking to get around and researching places when I'm out in the field, so to speak. So it's like 20 gigs high speed a month, which is more than enough. And the thing is, like, I track it and it doesn't seem to be subtracting my data usage at all. Like, they're not like keeping track of it. So in a sense, it's unlimited. There's like an app that I have, which is very convenient. I can pay my bills there. So yeah, $20 a month for internet, guys. Water, which is really funny. The water bill this month was 20 baht. Guys, that is 60 cents. It's not even 60 cents. I rounded up already. Like, can you believe that? That's insane. For some reason, the water bill comes in my mailbox. It's paid to the condominium. And for 60 cents, it's almost not even worth it's not even worth it to charge me. Like, you kind of like, how do you not lose money? Like, printing it out on a sheet of paper, having the person spend labor hours delivering each of these bills to like the freaking 100 mailboxes in the building. And it's like 60 cents. To be fair, there was some 40 baht credit. So I only had to pay 20 baht. I think it should have been 60 baht. But still, I mean, it's like negligible. I'm not even going to bring this up again. I'm not even going to talk about my water bill again because it's basically like free. So that's pretty cool, 60-cent water bill, guys, for the first month. Taking like 2 showers a day at least, washing my feet, doing my dishes. So that's pretty cool. Electricity was $33 a month, and we are in the cool season right now, so I expect that to almost double coming up here very shortly. $33 is very reasonable for me. That was running the AC about just a couple hours each day. I let the apartment get to about 28 degrees Celsius before I kick on the AC, and the AC is on like 24. I don't have the conversions in front of me anymore because I'm just trying to use Celsius now that I'm out here. But I feel like 24 degrees Celsius, what I have my AC set to, I feel like that's like 74. It's probably 75 degrees. And back home in California, what I'm used to is like maybe like 70 is really nice, 72 if you're trying to be like eco-conscious and save a little money. But now I'm like raising it up a little bit. I'm trying to get used to these Thai temperatures. So like I don't take it under 24 as far as the AC. Back when I first came to Thailand, every time I would go back into my hotel or something like that, I would bump it down to like 18, 19 degrees Celsius and just like live super chilly. But that's not really doing you any favors long term in terms of like getting used to the climate out here. So at night, I try to suffer a little bit and, get a little bit sweaty before I turn on the AC, and I don't run it all night. So I've been trying to be really stingy of how much I use the AC just to save money and just to kind of get used to the level of heat here, especially prepare myself for the summer. But in the summer, it's just kind of unavoidable. It's going to be running all night for sure, all night. And if I'm home, it's going to be running just because it's just way too hot. So $33 a month for electricity right now, probably going to be about 60 going into the summer. Total, guys, that's $1,700 as a single guy living for 1 month. So just $1,700 for everything: food, rent, utilities, and fun, massages. I will say that about 300 of that I expect, maybe like 3 to 400 of that. Realistically, we can knock off 400. So that would be $1,300 that I expect. That's kind of my budget, 12 to 1,300 for next month. That's kind of like my goal. Because as I said, there was like a lot of first time expenses moving into the condo. So yeah, I think that's very reasonable considering what I'm getting. When I really think about what I'm getting just from the condo alone for $600 a month, it's just mind blowing. We compare it to like California, right, which is becoming like unlivable essentially. $600 won't. If you guys have seen Harry Potter, he lives like in like the first Harry Potter, he lives like under the staircase in this little closet. In Orange County, 600 a month could not even buy you that staircase. I'm not even like that's like funny joke, but it's not really even a joke, guys. I was paying about $700 and I had the master bedroom in a condo, but that was because I was getting hooked up by my friend Miguel. Thank you if you're listening. I was getting like an extreme discount, considering that we were in a beautiful place in Orange County, had the master bedroom of this condo, like a huge bathroom, like a lot of space. While the other guys are paying like $1,000 a month for like a little bedroom, for like a kid's bedroom, for a kid-sized bedroom, right? So just like being out here, it's just so convenient and so wonderful. And there's a lot of things that aren't as wonderful, right? Mainly the pollution, PM 2.5. I mean, Bangkok is one of the most heavily polluted cities in the world. And a lot of people don't go out, straight up. A lot of people, like if you go to the pickleball courts on one of these high PM days, pretty much all days are unhealthy, right? If you go to the air quality site, it's almost always says unhealthy. We don't really have that many good days here as in terms of like the PM 2.5, like the tiny little dirty particles that go into your lungs and make you live potentially a lesser amount of time on this planet. But yeah, so on the high polluted days, some people don't go out, some people don't exercise outside. But then again, some people do. A lot of people wear masks, and then there's some people that just don't care. They just don't. They walk around without a mask. That's typically me. I'll still go on like a 10-mile walk, and I'll feel it. I won't have any pain. Thankfully, I don't suffer from asthma or anything, but I can feel it in my throat. It's like feels dirty. It feels like there's something extra there that you don't feel on normal days. There's no phlegm or blood or anything for me, but it's just there's just you can feel it. That's all I can say. I can feel there's more of an accumulation of stuff in my throat. Um, but I don't know. I kind of have a reckless mind view about that. I'm single. I don't have a family or anything like that. I don't have kids, so I don't really think that. I don't know. I don't want to get into that, but I don't really let it detract from my quality of life that much. I'm not too afraid. I've never been one to wear masks, um, ever. So that's that. The pollution's pretty bad, but we make it work. It doesn't really bother me all that much. But then again, I haven't been living here all that long, so there's that. Other than that, I would say sometimes for some people it bothers them like the smell, especially if you go around less kind of different areas of the city that aren't so modern. You'll smell that sewer smell, You'll see canals around the city that are really dirty and smelly. Sometimes you'll see big little rats. Big little rats. Notice my choice of words. They're not little at all. But I don't know, Southeast Asia, it's not always the cleanest, but I'm not worried out here. I've never been worried about people like not washing their hands. I typically don't ever wash my hands actually with soap. I don't even think I have soap in my apartment. I have dish soap, but I don't have like hand soap or anything. Some people might think that's gross. But I never get sick. I'm like cleaner than like 99% of America, I guess. Because I don't really believe in like harsh chemicals and like bleach, and like I think that overall people think that they're being like super clean, but what you kind of doing a disservice to your immune system by trying to be like uber like clean and like sterile or whatever. But I think it goes both ways. I think that feeling healthy starts with your mind, and it really doesn't matter what you do either way on either side of that spectrum. I think if you feel healthy, by all means, I think that's what matters. So if you feel healthy by using Clorox wipes like everywhere and like being in touch with all those chemicals and constantly stripping your microflora and your whatever, that's fine. I think that just feeling healthy is the most important thing. So I don't judge people on their decisions. So I hope you don't judge me for not having soap. I know that's a weird thing. If I'm in a public bathroom or something like that, I'll wash my hands with soap, like at a mall or something like that. But typically, I don't wash my hands that much, and I never get sick. I never ever get sick. I'm like super strong immune system, and I think a big part of it is I'm not like scared. Like it doesn't scare me when I see somebody like, and this is my main point here. I'm not trying to like judge anybody's lifestyle, but my main point is like if I see some lady preparing vegetables like with her bare hands or like chopping on a dirty cutting board or like that she just used to chop fish and now she's chopping chicken. I mean, that's just like normal stuff that you see here in Southeast Asia. Maybe not in like a mall or something like that, but I mean, when you think about how the people live out here, that's just how they live, and they're not scared and they're not judging people for it, and they're all right. They're more than all right. So it's good to kind of like see like how different people live and to see the kinds of things that they worry about, if at all. And typically in Thailand, which is why I like it so much, is people don't trip over here. You know what I mean? Like they're not that worried about stuff. It's just like everything's gonna be all right. It's a non-confrontational society, which is definitely different than America. But also they don't stress over stupid stuff. They almost don't stress at all. You can just feel it everywhere you go, and I absolutely love that. And that's it. I don't know what else I really want to get into. I think we're at a good time on the podcast, coming up on 40 minutes. That's pretty much 1 month here. I did want to talk about where I live actually, just because it's something fun. I live on Sukhumvit 33, and recently I've been walking around. I've noticed that on Sukhumvit Road, which is the main road that runs through the city, and the BTS SkyTrain runs, on top of this road. All the even number streets are on one side, all the odd numbered streets are on the other side. Sometimes they even have like 33/1, just to keep it odd or even. So I live on 33, and 33 is known for the massage parlors. There's 33 and there's 24. I'm not talking about like Thai massages where you just like get like lay on a table where you get a foot massage or something like that, or just rub out your shoulders, right? I'm talking about sex massage, guys. And there you might have some other terms for what these actually are, but in the city in Thailand, they're very very common, and it adds such like a unique flavor to my living experience here, because I'll walk down the street, and starting from like 12 in the afternoon, so from 12 to like 2 a.m. outside of these massage parlors. As far as sex massage shops go on 33, there's probably like, I would say like 15 to 20. There's little side streets that you can go down. And just picture this. It's like Thai girls of all shapes and sizes, different hair colors, tattoos, no tattoos, fake boobs, small boobs, whatever, like anything, high heels. They're just like on their phones in their tight dresses. They were like dressing up for Chinese New Year. They were all in like their red dresses. And I'm not kidding you guys. It's just like they're perched outside of their like massage houses, and there might be like 10, there might be five, there might be two or three, and they're like slouched over on their phones or like laughing with each other or like taking naps on each other's shoulders. It's very common to see them like eating. They're ordering like street food, or they walk over to the street carts and they buy something and they're like eating together outside. And they'll be like, hi, they'll be like, Sawadee and they'll be like, massage. There's a couple of like legit massage, quote unquote, legit massage places too, if you're just looking for like a legit foot rub. But I'm telling you, it's a very unique experience. It's so fun, and I don't shy away from them at all. I usually make eye contact and smile. Not every time, but it's just like they're like my neighbors essentially. And the thing is, it's just like I don't know how it's viewed in America or whatever. Just because you can't walk around in a city in America and see straight up like like prostitutes on the street in front of these establishments. Like these are legit establishments. They have signs and they have branding and they have menus. Like if you don't know, like you gotta just experience it for yourself. But it's so fun, guys. Like these are my neighbors and they know me because I'm walking up and down the street every day, like the long hair guy with the backpack, and they always smile at me and I smile at them. I say hello to them. There's even one lady that works in one of the one of the sex massages. Her name is Chu, so I call her Pichu, right? And she's actually Chinese Thai, but her job is to just like solicit customers, like foreigners walking by, like, hey, come in for a massage. Like, she literally pulls them in from the street, and like if they're feeling a little apprehensive about it or like they're on the fence about which one they're going to choose, it's just like she's like a little salesman, I guess. As if the girls weren't selling themselves enough. But anyway, she's super sweet, and I have little conversations with her when I walk by, and it's just really really nice. So I've gotten to like know people now, like on this street. So yeah, it's a lot. It's fun because sometimes there's hotels here on the street as well. There's a lot of Japanese people because there's a lot of Japanese ownership in this section of town. So like a lot of the massage places are owned by Japanese. There's a lot of Japanese restaurants and grocery stores. So there's a lot of Japanese like expats walking around. There's a lot of Japanese tourists walking around. And then because it's 33, Street 33 and all these massage parlors, there's a lot of like tourists, a lot of horny tourists, a lot of horny dudes walking around, a lot of Chinese dudes, a lot of Indian dudes. They like specifically come to Thailand for this experience. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot on Fridays and Saturday nights. It's crazy. It's crazy just to think about like what's happening. Like let's look at like a legit menu. Like how many girls do you want? Like what services do you want? Like what kind of room you want? Like you want half an hour? You want 60 minutes? You want 90 minutes? It's crazy. I mean, don't ask me how I know this, but and then you have families walking around like little kids, and it's just like, oh my god, it's so fun. There's like stray cats, and there's people like there's like an old lady selling like Thai tea. There's like an old man making Thai omelets. People making papaya salads, chopping up fruits. There's motorbikes going by. It's just like so lively and crazy. And then that like the prostitution thing just adds like another layer on top, and it's just bonkers. It's so fun. Just to be around it, just to walk up and down the street. So just to put it in perspective, I'm living in the $600 a month like condo with a rooftop pool and like a gym, like pretty much world-class amenities, world-class service. I can get anything delivered to my door within minutes. I never have to leave. I can walk 5 minutes and be at 7-Eleven. I can walk 2 minutes and be at a grocery store. There's like a Japanese restaurant that just opened up in 1 minute away. I can be at this Japanese restaurant. And it's just amazing. And, massages, legit or not, that's just take your pick. It's absolutely, absolutely insane. Anyways, guys, that's kind of where I want to wrap it up. I had a lot of fun with this episode. 1 month in Bangkok. I've had a lot of fun being here. So yeah, I hope you will tune in next time. Probably maybe like at least once a month. I'm down to record a podcast episode, and so far that feels good. So if you've made it to the end, thank you so much for tuning in. It really does mean the world to me. I appreciate it. And as always, I wish you peace, health, and unlimited joy on your journey, wherever it may take you. Thank you so much, guys. I'll talk to you on the next one.